Why aren't you answering? I'm on the way. Optimus Prime, respond. That is an order. Oh no. No. What did he do to you? What did Megatron do? Your power readings are fluctuating heavily. I've got to get you back to base. Megatron, Unicron, Matrix of Chaos, cyberforming. What are you talking about, Optimus? You're rambling, not making any sense. Just rest. We will get you help.
No disrespect intended, but I really need you to give me some room to work. He's stable, but banged up pretty bad.
Can you do anything to help him here?
Not what he needs. I suggest we get him back to Ratchet pronto.
How did you know to come here, to get us?
Well, Ironhide was monitoring you guys pretty closely once the cerebro-shell nanoprobe light show started, and he noticed the major fluctuations in Optimus's energy signals. We were ground-bridged here to offer support. Excuse me, I don't mean to break this up, but we probably shouldn't be wasting any more time than we have to.
Yes, of course. Agreed. Autobots, let's roll for home. When I found him, he was mumbling about Megatron and Unicron and cyberforming. I don't know what any of it means. At least not yet.
See, this was exactly why I wished that you just let us come. I knew we should have been there.
It wouldn't have changed the outcome. I didn't want you in danger. And neither would he. What's done is done. And we just have to trust that Ratchet will effect the repairs necessary to get Optimus back on his feet quickly.
You'd better hope so, because I put responsibility for all of this squarely on your shoulders. It's nobody's fault, Ironhide. I mean, Optimus knew what he was getting into. He didn't want us to come either. It just so happens that on this day, Megatron bested him. I know. I'm just angry about the whole thing. That's all. Well, Ratchet's working on him now, so at least he's in good hands. Has he spoken? Has he said anything else? Nothing that makes sense to me, but you guys should really speak to Ratchet when he's done. Okay, so at least everything is now stabilized. I will give you a little bit of privacy so that you can rest.
How is he doing, Ratchet? What is his status?
I expect him to make a full recovery physically, but mentally, I don't know. This has changed him. He's asked to speak to you.
Do you know what he wants?
No, I don't. He's been ominously quiet, but if anybody has a chance of shaking him from this stupor, well, who better than you?
Indeed. Well, I will try my best. Optimus, I'm here. I was told that you wished to speak with me. You need not speak so meekly. I have simply been quiet because I have come to a tough decision. I must defer leadership of my Autobots to you. Without my matrix, I cannot lead. I do not have the skills required at this time. You wish for me to lead alone? I cannot in good conscience accept that responsibility. And yet, you do not have a choice but to take this responsibility. There are always choices, Optimus. Surely you realize that as well as I do. We will fight together, and we will take that which was wrongfully stolen from you. Besides, it's not like Megatron has the ability to use that matrix himself. I wish that I was as confident about that fact as you are. For when Megatron engaged me in battle and stole the matrix from my very chest, he explained that his intention was to pour the blood of Unicron that courses through his veins into it, thereby creating the matrix of chaos. That was step one of his maniacal plan. The current cyber forming that is happening here on Terrestra is step two. He furthermore alluded to a third step. Alas, I do not know what that is, but if he has been in conference with Unicron this whole time, then the results could be disastrous for us all. And though he may not be able to use the Matrix, I suspect that Unicron can. In essence, Megatron may become a version of a dark prime. And if it is true that only a prime can kill a prime, then I fear that your life may be in danger. Yet, you are also the only one capable of standing with him toe to toe. Don't you see the truth of the situation? Without the Matrix, I am only a simple librarian. And from this point forward, my name is Orion Pax. I see. I believe that I am starting to understand the gravity of the situation and just how defeated you are feeling. But just as I will not give up fighting, I will not let you quit either. We will restore your former glory. These Autobots are yours to lead, not mine. I will assume temporary command for now. But rest assured, everything will be as it should be in the end. I swear it.
This is bad. This is very, very bad. All of these readings spell absolute catastrophe for the universe as we know it. Then I guess it's up to us to find a way out of this mess.
Perceptor, Prowl, Wheeljack, Ironhide, would you care to fill me in on the details of the situation as you currently understand them?
It isn't good, but leave it to Perceptor to have all the answers we need. I hardly have all the answers, Wheeljack, but what I do have is a mix of good and quite awful. At least you're offering us a fighting chance. And right now, we can use all the chances we can get. True, Wheeljack, you make a very valid point, and I would like to begin with a spot of good news. The modified cerebro-shells have managed to cyberform a mere 2.394% of the planet's surface thus far. The process is continuous, but moving at a very slow pace. This works to our advantage. Furthermore, the first volley seems to have stopped, which means the Decepticons are either having to manufacture more of these, or at the very least reload. Either way, we have been afforded a very valuable commodity. Time. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt here, but shouldn't Optimus be a part of this? I mean, our Optimus?
True. He should. But he is still recovering and somewhat indisposed at the moment. In his absence, he has asked me to take the lead in establishing an offense for this effort. I understand that trusting me must be difficult for all of you. I ask you to give me the benefit of the doubt, at least temporarily for now, and hopefully sooner rather than later we can rectify all of this. Please, Perceptor, continue.
Yes, indeed. I have triangulated the origin point of the cerebro-shells. I believe we may be able to strike there and stop any further development of this project. I have also discovered another site of unusual subterranean activity, peculiar energy signals. I cannot confirm at this time, but it seems very likely that it may be connected to recent Decepticon activity. Either way, it got to be worth checking out. Allow me to be the first to volunteer for that mission.
Ease your enthusiasm, Prowl. If I have understood correctly, we have 2 sites of interest worthy of investigation. Is that correct?
Yes, precisely. The likely launch site of the cerebro-shells and the peculiar subterranean activity. You better go ahead and tell him the last thing, Perceptor, and get it over with. Unfortunately, this is the awful news, and it concerns you. I am sorry to report that I have monitored other peculiar readings as well, mostly temporal, but some are interdimensional. The long story short is that the boundaries which separate dimensions and universes, that separate past, present, and future, are breaking down. Everything that is, was, or ever will be is on the verge of coalescing into one. Whatever Megatron did has created an unsustainable flux. I believe that the only remedy for this situation, unfortunately, is to send him back from whence he came, and to send you back as well.
I see. I knew that Megatron using his interdimensional shunt device was going to cause irreparable damage. The Starscream of my dimension saw the danger as well. I understand the situation completely, but we must be smart and take things one step at a time. Our immediate top 2 priorities are the investigation of both of these peculiar sites and the arresting of any more cyberforming by the cerebro-shells.
Now that is something I will gladly take the lead on researching. While we could destroy each of the cerebro-shells, it would certainly be better if we could find a way to make them all inert at the same time. In the meantime, I am happy to announce that both sets of coordinates for the two sites are ready to go. You can leave at will.
Excellent. In that case, Perceptor, Wheeljack, I would appreciate it if you could continue working on a method to halt the cyberforming. Jazz, you will serve as our communications liaison. Prowl, Ironhide, you will lead a squadron to the launch site. Be prepared for Decepticon retaliation. And I will lead another squadron to the subterranean site. Since that is an unknown, I would rather be there myself. You have your orders. Let's not waste any more time, shall we?
Well, he might not have said roll out, but with confidence like that, he is definitely a prime. Huh. Yeah, well, I just hope he knows what he's doing. Quit it. Let's just get to busting some heads. Right, we've got a job to do. If we could just get everybody's attention for a moment, we'd really like to debrief you before we get going. You've all been selected for very specific reasons, and I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be a very dangerous mission. Zap! Pow! How dangerous could it be? A lot more than we'd like it to be, Warpath, but all of you need to understand just how important this is. This is our chance to stop the cyberforming that's currently taking place. I don't think that anyone would argue that the indigenous terrestrians shouldn't be paying for our wool. Perhaps you should give us the details. Right, good idea. Well, to begin, Ironhide and I are going to lead this charge. Exactly. We're going to the launch site of the cyber-forming cerebro-shells. Some of you are going to stay outside the facility with me to offer retaliation for any cons or defenses that are most likely in place. I want to keep our heaviest firepower out there. So guys like Scoop, Cliff Jumper, Gears, Warpath, you'll be with me. The rest of you, you'll follow Prowl inside. Once there, your main goal is to make a beeline to the launch device. Trailbreaker, Mirage, you're going to be tasked with taking that out. The rest of you are going to offer cover fire. Oh, great. You're trusting me with the fate of the entire universe. With a bunch of universes. No pressure there. Well, I like our job because if there's one thing that Suppressor and I can agree on, it's that blasting cons is our favorite pastime. Don't worry, Trailbreaker. If there's one thing that we can guarantee, it's that you will get to your destination safely. All right. We're never going to get there if we just keep bantering. Are there any questions before we pull out? Just one. Do you guys have any bright ideas regarding how exactly I should take this device out? Just be destructive and improvise, Mirage. Now let's stop wasting time and roll out.
I want you all to know that I appreciate you volunteering for this mission. Needless to say, it is of paramount importance.
If it really is as crucial as you say, then why are you leading us and not our Optimus?
That is a valid question, and while he is rather indisposed at the moment, we are under a time crunch to pursue several top priorities. I have been tasked with investigating this peculiar subterranean locale. And though, as of yet, we have been unable to verify its connection to recent Decepticon activity, it is our duty to determine whether or not we are facing an imminent danger. That is why I appreciate you volunteering, for we do not know what we are walking into. I applaud your bravery and your dedication to the Autobot cause and the preservation of terrestrial life. I simply ask that you all remain very alert to the potential dangers which lay ahead in the unknown that we are about to face together.
Well, it can't be any worse than squaring off against 2 Megatrons. True, unless it's 3 of them, maybe.
Enough with the bad jokes, Bumblebee. Autobots, let's roll out and see what we're up against.
Shockwave, I require your assistance.
It's about time that you showed up. Out gallivanting while the rest of us are here working hard to further your plans.
Of course, as you wish, Lord Megatron.
Silence, Starscream. Your input is neither wanted nor needed. I have returned with a very useful artifact. One which requires your delicate expertise. Shockwave. Join me now quickly. We must make haste.
Yes, as you command, my liege.
Did you see that, man? Yes, I did. It looked like a matrix, but that's not possible. Megatron can't have any use for it. Get back to work, Shrapnel.
It's about time that you showed up. Nice to know that my efforts and sacrifice weren't in vain. What have you got there?
The secret to Decepticon supremacy.
Though badly damaged, it looks like a matrix.
How very observant of you. Indeed, it is.
A rare and incredible opportunity this is, to study an Autobot matrix of leadership. If I may be so bold, Megatron, could you please place it here for my closer scrutiny? Despite Shockwave's enthusiasm, and if you'll pardon my ignorance, this is what I lost an arm for. A matrix. But we cannot use a matrix. True, but the discoveries and scientific implications are undeniable, Megatron.
Shockwave's study of this artifact and his alterations to it will allow me to use it. For in this relic, I shall birth the very first matrix of chaos by pouring into it the blood of Unicron that courses through my body.
The blood of Unicron. Really? But that is nothing more than a young bot's fairy tale. Go ahead, Shockwave. Make the alterations. Do it. Let's see what our dear illustrious leader brings to the table. There, despite not having sufficient time to fully study it, I believe that whatever you wish to accomplish will now be possible. Tell me, Megatron, how do you feel?
It is truly a peculiar sensation. I am aware of what is transpiring inside of myself, yet I do not control it. I can feel the power of Unicron strangling Primus and all the wisdom of past primes. I can feel the power growing within me, power the likes of which I have never known. I will nourish this as I take my leave from you to attend to other pressing matters. Continue our work here. Ensure that the cyberforming goes on.
Do you believe that there could be validity to his ramblings? Who knows? Remember, I never chose him to be our leader. You and the rest of the Decepticons did. I will say this, though. If he is, in fact, working in concert with Unicron, then one way or another, this truly is the beginning of the end.